1000 of Sisters star Amy Slaton has a new surprise in her life. Recently, Amy went live and told everyone that she is 5 months pregnant and will soon be a mother of 2 children. However, this good news has created a big controversy. Amy's husband claims, "This child is not mine," which further complicates the mystery surrounding the whole matter. In order to uncover the truth in this situation, Amy's sister, Tammy, decides to get a DNA test done to find out who the real father of the unborn child is. Now all eyes are on Tammy's decision. Will the DNA report bring any surprises? Amy Slaton was glowing with happiness as she shared the news with her fans. She was 5 months pregnant. The thought of becoming a mother again filled her with joy, but the moment was overshadowed by the storm brewing in her personal life. "I ain't the father of that child," her husband, Michael, had shouted in front of the cameras, his voice laced with anger and betrayal. The accusation sent shockwaves through their small town, and soon, rumors spread like wildfire. Amy's sister, Tammy, was furious. "Enough of this drama. We're getting a DNA test," she declared, determined to bring the truth to light. The test was done in secrecy. Only Tammy and Amy knew the results were coming in. The night before they were to receive them, Amy sat in her dimly lit living room, her heart pounding. What if Michael was right? What if the truth shattered everything? The next day, Tammy opened the envelope with shaking hands. Her eyes scanned the paper, and suddenly she gasped. "Amy, you need to see this." Amy grabbed the report and read the words that would change her life forever. The father was someone unexpected, someone no one had suspected. Tears welled up in her eyes as she whispered, "Oh my God, what have I done?" Now the real question remained, how would she face Michael? And how would the world react to the shocking truth? However, Tammy sat in her wheelchair, staring at Amy with teary eyes. The room was filled with silence, except for the hum of the ceiling fan. They had fought before, but this time, it felt different. "I'm done, Amy." Tammy's voice cracked. "I can't keep doing this. You don't understand what it's like to be me." Amy sighed, rubbing her temples. She had been trying to help Tammy lose weight to get healthier, but every time she pushed, Tammy pulled away. "You think I don't care?" Amy shot back. "I've been here for you through everything, Tammy, but I can't keep fighting for you if you won't fight for yourself." Tammy's face turned red with anger. "You think it's that easy? You had your surgery, you lost your weight, and now you act like you're better than me." Amy's heart sank. She never wanted Tammy to feel that way. "That's not true," she said softly. I want you to live, Tammy. I want you to be here for Gage, for Glenn, for me." Tammy's expression softened for a moment, but then she shook her head. "Maybe I don't want to be saved, Amy." Amy felt tears sting her eyes. She had spent years worrying, crying, and begging Tammy to change. But what if Tammy was right? What if she didn't want to be saved? A long silence stretched between them before Tammy finally whispered, "I'm tired, Amy. I'm just so tired." Amy walked over and placed a hand on her sister's shoulder. "Then let me carry some of that weight for you, sis. You don't have to do this alone." Tammy looked up, her eyes filled with something Amy hadn't seen in a long time. Hope. But just as they were about to embrace, the front door slammed open. Chris rushed in, his face pale. "Y'all, we got a problem," he said, breathless. Both sisters turned to him, their argument forgotten. Whatever was coming next, they would have to face it together. However, Amy Slaton sat on her porch, staring at the evening sky, lost in thought. The once bright and happy marriage she had hoped for was now crumbling before her eyes. She had tried everything: patience, love, even therapy, but nothing seemed to work. Michael had changed, or maybe she had. Either way, she felt trapped in a life that no longer made her happy. Her sister, Tammy, noticed the sadness in her eyes. "Amy, what's wrong?" she asked, rolling her wheelchair closer. Amy sighed, her voice trembling. "I don't know, Tammy. I think I want a divorce." Tammy's eyes widened. "Are you sure?" That's a big decision. I don't know what else to do, Amy admitted. I'm tired, Tammy. Tired of fighting, tired of feeling alone even when he's right there. Tammy reached out and squeezed her hand. You deserve to be happy, Amy. But don't rush into anything. Talk to someone first. Amy nodded. She had been thinking about calling Amanda, their other sister. Amanda was always the strong one, the one who never backed down. Maybe she could help Amy find the strength to do what was right for her. That night, Amy picked up the phone. Amanda, can we talk? Amanda's voice was warm and reassuring. Of course, sis, what's going on? As Amy poured out her heart, Amanda listened patiently. Amy, you have to do what's best for you and your kids, Amanda said. If you're unhappy, don't stay just because you feel like you have to. Amy wiped a tear from her cheek. But what if I regret it? Amanda chuckled softly. And what if you find happiness? You won't know unless you take that step. For the first time in a long while, Amy felt a glimmer of hope. She wasn't alone. She had her sisters, her family. And maybe, just maybe, she had the strength to start over. However, Amy was bubbling with excitement as she sat across from her sister, Tammy, at their favorite cafe. She could barely keep the news to herself any longer. Tammy, guess what? Amy said, her eyes sparkling with joy. Tammy raised an eyebrow, sipping her iced tea. What? She asked, half expecting another one of Amy's surprises. Amy took a deep breath, then grinned. Michael and I have bought our own house. Tammy blinked, processing the words. Wait, what? You mean your own house? Like, no more renting? Amy nodded eagerly. Yep, it's ours. It's got 3 bedrooms, a big kitchen, and even a backyard for the boys to play in. For a moment, Tammy just stared at her sister. She had always known Amy wanted a home of her own, but hearing it out loud made it real. A part of her felt happy, but another part felt uncertain. That's great. Amy, Tammy finally said, forcing a small smile. I'm really happy for you. Amy noticed the hesitation in Tammy's voice. Are you okay? She asked gently. Tammy sighed. Yeah, I knew this day would come. It's just, things are changing so fast. First you got married, then the kids, and now a house. It feels like, I don't know, like we're growing apart. Amy reached across the table and squeezed Tammy's hand. Tammy, we'll always be sisters. A house doesn't change that. And you know what? You can come over anytime. Maybe even have sleepovers like old times. Tammy chuckled, rolling her eyes. Yeah, sure. I'll bring my snacks. Amy laughed. Deal. For the first time since hearing the news, Tammy felt a little better. Maybe things were changing, but one thing was for sure. No matter what, they would always be family. However, Tammy sat in the car, tears streaming down her face as she struggled to catch her breath. The doctor's words echoed in her mind. You're not a candidate for skin removal surgery at this time. After losing hundreds of pounds, she had hoped this surgery would be the final step in reclaiming her life. But now, rejection felt like a cruel punishment. Her sister, Amy, sat beside her, gently rubbing her back. Tammy, it's not the end. You've come so far. This is just a setback, not a stop sign. Tammy sniffled and wiped her eyes. I thought I did everything right, Amy. I worked so hard. I don't want to be stuck in this loose skin forever. I know, sis, and you won't be. Maybe there's another way. Maybe another doctor. We'll figure it out together. Despite the pain, Tammy nodded. Amy had been with her through every step of her journey, through the highs and the devastating lows. If she believed there was still hope, maybe Tammy could believe it too. That night, as she lay in bed, Tammy scrolled through her phone, looking up different surgeons and clinics. The rejection still hurt, but a small spark of determination lit up inside her. This wasn't the end of her story. It was just another chapter. However, Tammy Slaton couldn't believe the day had finally come. After years of struggle, heartbreak, and personal growth, she was about to marry the love of her life, Caleb Willingham. The chapel in Kentucky was decorated with soft pink and white flowers, and the air was filled with excitement. Amy Slaton, Tammy's sister, was running around making sure everything was perfect. "Tammy, girl, you look gorgeous," she said, adjusting Tammy's sparkling tiara. Gage, Amy's little boy, clapped his tiny hands, thrilled by the lively atmosphere. As Tammy sat in her wheelchair, looking at her reflection, she took a deep breath. "I never thought I'd get here," she whispered. "You deserve this happiness, sis," Amy said, squeezing Tammy's hand. "You fought so hard to be here." The music started playing, and the guests turned their heads. Caleb was at the altar, his eyes filled with love and admiration. As Tammy rolled down the aisle, the room was silent except for a few sniffles. Everyone knew how much she had overcome. When she reached Caleb, he smiled and whispered, "You are the most beautiful bride." Tammy chuckled. "You're just saying that 'cause I'm marrying you." The guests laughed, and the minister began the ceremony. "Do you, Tammy, take Caleb to be your husband?" Tears welled up in her eyes. "I do." "And do you, Caleb, take Tammy to be your wife?" "I do," he said without hesitation. The minister smiled. "By the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride." As Caleb leaned in and kissed Tammy, the entire room erupted in cheers. Amy wiped her tears and shouted, "All right, let's get this party started." The reception was full of laughter, dancing, and love. Tammy and Caleb shared their first dance while Amy and the rest of the family cheered them on. As the night came to an end, Tammy looked at Caleb and whispered, "This is just the beginning." And for once in her life, she truly believed it. Hello, lovely viewers. Welcome to my channel. I am Mina. Hope your day is so well. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel.